Imagine a shift in the football world. Something so big, it doesn't just make waves, it actually sort of reshapes the whole game.
Mhm.
A transfer so bold, it makes you rethink everything. Well, that just happened. And the epicenter, Anfield.
It really has. June 20th, 2025, Liverpool FC confirmed it. Florian Wirtz, the 22-year-old German phenomenon. And this isn't just another signing, is it? It's a record-smashing 116 million statement. That figure is now burned into British football history.
Exactly, and that's what we're diving into today. We want to pull apart this huge move. What makes this young German worth that much money? What's the gamble for Liverpool here? And what does it signal for the rest of European football? Because it's not just a player moving clubs. It's about, well, ambition, strategy, power shifts.
Absolutely. And it forces you to think about what value even means in football today. It's not just talent, though Wirtz has bucket loads of that. It's everything coming together, the track record, the potential, that X factor. It all adds up to justify this massive investment.
Right. So let's talk about the man himself, who is Florian Wirtz. Well, picture this dynamic attacking midfielder, a proper playmaker, vision like a hawk, flair like a street artist. Sees passes, others just don't. And he's only 22, already a big name in Germany now. Everyone knows him.
Yeah, his rise was incredibly fast. Debuted for Leverkusen at 17, May 2020. Remember those empty stadium games? That was the backdrop. Became their youngest ever player. Then, like a month later, youngest Bundesliga scorer. That record's gone now. But still, it shows how good he was right from the off.
And it wasn't just flashes in the pan. That 2023-24 season with Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Wow, legendary stuff. He was the engine, wasn't he? Drove them to the Bundesliga and German Cup double. And the truly crazy part, they didn't lose a single game in those competitions. All season. Think about that. Undefeated. He was central to making that happen. For someone so young, that consistency is amazing.
It really speaks volumes, doesn't it? And the stats back it up. We're talking 57 goals, 65 assists in 197 games for Leverkusen, plus 7 goals in 31 caps for Germany already. I mean, those are prime numbers, not numbers for a 22-year-old. He can genuinely glide past defenders and then, boom, a pass that just defies logic. That mix of skill and output is pretty rare.
It almost feels unfair, doesn't it? But his story has another layer, which I think tells you even more. Remember, he had that awful cruciate ligament tear back in 2022, out for nearly a year. For creative players, that can be devastating. It can take away that spark, that agility. But Wirtz, he didn't just come back. He came back and led Leverkusen to that unbeaten season under Alonso, won Bundesliga Player of the Season too. That mental strength. Clubs must love that.
Oh, absolutely. That resilience is huge. It shows character, dedication, things you can't always see in highlight reels. It suggests he can handle pressure, handle setbacks, which is vital for a move this big. And when you hear why he wanted to leave, it wasn't just money, apparently. He said he wanted something completely new after his whole career in Germany, ready for a new challenge. Interesting, because Lothar Matthäus seemed surprised, didn't he? Said he didn't think Wirtz would move so early. Shows he's not looking for the easy path, maybe. Wants to push himself.
And he's definitely pushed himself into a new price bracket.
Yeah.
Let's revisit that number. $116 million could go up to what? $156 million with add-ons? That's, well, it's mind-boggling money.
Yeah.
Smashes Liverpool's old record Van Dijk at £75 million. And it even overtakes Chelsea paying $150 million for Caicedo. Makes Wirtz potentially the priciest player ever in Britain. Is this the new benchmark for top talent, or is Wirtz just that special?
That really is the £116 million question, isn't it? The Van Dijk comparison is spot on. People balked at $75 million then, but look what he did for Liverpool's defense. Seen as a masterstroke now. The hope, obviously, is Wirtz does the same for the attack. And his stats last season, 16 goals, 15 assists in 45 games, they scream impact player. He's already delivering at the highest level. So it's a bet, yeah, but on proven quality, not just potential.
It is about that potential to transform the team, make that fee look like value later on. But there's always the detail, isn't there? Leverkusen apparently wanted closer to $126 million. So Liverpool had to really negotiate hard. It's not just throwing money, it's a process.
Definitely, you have to show respect, but stick to your guns, too. So the final deal, $100 million's up front, and that's $16 million in add-ons, tied to sustained success. So yeah, Premier League titles, Champions League success, maybe not juggling flaming torches, but you get the idea. Liverpool expect big things long term.
And he'll need to deliver quickly, because the Premier League, well, it's a different beast.
Oh yeah, there's always that question mark. The pace is just relentless, nonstop, and it's physical, really physical. Players coming from other leagues often talk about that adjustment. Konstantin Eckner, the German football writer, mentioned Wirtz's work ethic is admirable, which helps. Says he leads by example. But still, will he hit the ground running? Or will he need time to adjust to that that chaos where everyone tackles like their life depends on it. The Bundesliga tax, some people call it.
It's always a gamble with big money, isn't it? Every club has examples. Liverpool fans certainly remember Andy Carroll. £35 million back in 2011 felt huge then. And, no, didn't work out. Became a bit of a running joke.
Cautionary tale, for sure.
But with Wirtz,
Yeah.
you look at his age, his versatility, his proven ability against top teams, the odds feel better. And that 5-year contract until 2030, that shows commitment from both sides. Gives him time, even if it takes a few months to really settle in.
Which brings us to how he actually fits in. Arne Slot's plans. Slot came in last summer, won the league in his first season, plays that dynamic 4-2-3-1, and the expectation is Wirtz slots right into that no-pretend spot, the main creator, where he can just conduct the orchestra, find those killer passes, make things happen.
Makes total sense tactically. He's perfect for that role.
Okay.
But what about Dominik Szoboszlai? He's been playing there. Fans love his energy, his shooting.
Yeah, Szoboszlai offers something different, more power, maybe more direct running. Wirtz is more about the finesse, the through balls. So Szoboszlai might have to drop deeper, compete in midfield with Greven Birch, McAllister, Jones.
He end up on the bench more often. That's a tough call for
Yeah.
Slot, managing all that talent.
It's a good problem to have, though. And Wirtz's versatility helps Slot manage it. He can easily drift left where Diaz and Gakpo play, offer something different out there, could even play false nine maybe, move across the front line. His knack for breaking lines and finding the final passes that's key against parked buses, which Liverpool still face sometimes. And longer term, think about Mo Salah. He's 33 now, still brilliant, but
You think Wirtz could eventually take over on the right?
it's definitely an option. Groom him for that role, move from playmaker to inverted winger. It shows serious long-term planning from the club. They're thinking years ahead.
Playing 4D chess over there. But Liverpool's attack is already packed, isn't it? You've got Jota, Darwin Núñez. Though Núñez, bless him, his finishing can be a bit erratic sometimes. Fans get frustrated.
Yeah, there's been talk they might want a more traditional clinical number 9. But maybe Wirtz changes that. Maybe the focus shifts slightly. Instead of relying on one main goal scorer, it becomes about Wirtz creating tons of chances for Salah, Diaz, Gakpo, maximizing their output, using his creativity as the main weapon. It's an interesting potential shift.
And getting him wasn't easy, was it? This was a proper transfer saga.
Oh, yeah. A real battle. Bayern Munich were keen, obviously. Man City, Real Madrid, all the big guns were sniffing around. German media seemed convinced he was off to Bayern. It felt like the default move.
But he chose Liverpool. Why?
Reports suggest Arne Slot's vision was crucial. How Wirtz would fit, how he'd develop. Slot must be pretty persuasive. And apparently Man City balked at the price. Even they have limits, it seems.
Wow.
And Real Madrid's interest faded, maybe busy with other Galacticos. And didn't Trent Alexander-Arnold just go there from Liverpool? For $8.4 million.
Wait, $8.4 million for Trent. That seems incredibly low. Is that right? Must be some context missing there, surely. Like a contract clause or something unusual.
Yeah, that figure seems questionable for a player like him. Might be an outlier report. But anyway, the point is, Real Madrid were perhaps focused elsewhere. It says a lot that Wirtz had all these options and picked Anfield.
And Leverkusen didn't make it easy for Liverpool, did they? Holding out for that big fee.
Nope. 2 years left on his contract. They held the cards. Started asking £126 million. Standard practice. Liverpool apparently opened bidding at $105 million, went up to $113 million, finally landed on $116 million after weeks of talks. Richard Hughes, the sporting director, probably needed a long holiday after that. Then the deal was done June 20th. Wirtz on a private jet to Merseyside, probably listening to the Beatles.
You have to picture it. And look, this signing is a huge statement. Liverpool just won their 20th title, drawing level with Man United. Huge achievement. But last season's transfer window was pretty quiet, wasn't it? Just Chiesa, really, as a major outfield signing.
Relatively, yeah.
Now this. They're flexing their muscles, sending a message across England and Europe. And it's not just Wirtz. They got Jeremy Frimpong from Leverkusen too, for about $29.5 million. Another key player from that unbeaten side.
Rapid right back, yeah. Adds depth and dynamism.
It sounds like Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth is close. Around $45-50 million for left back. Even talk about Mark Guéhi for center back. It's like they've hit the shops with a vengeance, building a super squad.
Well, it looks like a spree, but they're also managing the finances. There's talk Núñez could go to Saudi Arabia for big money, maybe Chiesa back to Italy if he didn't quite settle. And young Jarell Quansah might even go to Leverkusen for £35 million, maybe part of the Wirtz deal structure.
Ah, interesting. So it's smart spending. potentially,
Yeah.
selling assets to fund these key buys.
Exactly. Recycling funds, reinvesting smartly. It looks like very shrewd management behind the scenes.
And for the fans, this must feel incredible, real ambition. Wirtz himself sounds pumped. He told the club website something like, I want to win everything, every year.
Pretty confident.
Said, they won the Premier League last season, so my goal is to win it again and go further in the Champions League. You love to hear that ambition, right? And with his talent, maybe it's not so crazy.
You do have to feel for Bayer Leverkusen, though. Losing Wirtz, Frimpong, and Alonso the year before, now at Real Madrid, that's brutal. It's like losing your spine. Erik ten Hag, the new coach, has a massive job on his hands. Their sporting director, Simon Rolfs, wished Wirtz well, but you could tell it hurt. Said they weren't just losing a great player, but a special person. It really highlights the food chain in football, doesn't it? Even successful clubs struggle to keep generational talents from the Premier League giants.
A huge blow for Leverkusen, definitely. And, yeah, a sign of the Premier League's pull. But for Liverpool, this feels like the start of something big. A new era. Coming off a title win, adding these players, Slot proving himself, they look set up to dominate again. In England, and maybe Europe, too. They're building for the next 5-10 years here. The big question now is, does Wirtz become an Anfield legend like Gerrard? Or just another expensive signing who didn't quite hit those heights? Can't wait for his first game.
And if you're just a neutral football fan, this is exciting stuff. It shows the Premier League's power, pulling in talents like Wirtz. For you listening, it's a chance to watch a player who could genuinely light up the league. Goals, assists, maybe some moments of pure magic.
But let's be real for the skeptics out there. Remember, no transfer is ever guaranteed, no matter the price tag. Think about Caicedo at Chelsea, maybe. Or, yeah, Carroll, back in the day. The real test for Wirtz and for Liverpool's massive investment starts right now, on the pitch. So what really strikes you about this move? Is he the final piece for another Liverpool title? Or will that Premier League adjustment take time?
We'll start finding out soon. Keep an eye on his debut in the opening weeks of the season.
Because, honestly, if he bangs one in from 30 yards on his first appearance, you'll probably hear the Anfield roar from wherever you are. They'll be chanting his name loud.